This clip was recorded back in 2017, during what should have been a quiet moment of work. A woman sits at her desk, focused and unaware that something else in the room seems determined to interrupt her. At first, the security footage shows a movement so slight it's easy to ignore. A nearby chair shifts just a little, harmless, forgettable, but then it slides farther than it should, before slowly easing back into position, almost as if it's being guided. When that fails to draw her attention, the activity escalates. A bottle resting on the table suddenly tips over and crashes to the floor. She looks up, visibly confused, scanning the room for an explanation, but there isn't one. Moments later, her own chair is pulled backward with sudden force, enough to erase any illusion of coincidence. This isn't gravity. This isn't chance. This is interaction. And here's the detail many viewers can't stop thinking about. When the brightness of the footage is increased, a faint shape appears to move in perfect sync with the chair, retreating as it's pulled, almost as if something unseen is standing there, dragging it away from her. So what do you think was happening in that room? Was something trying to frighten her? Or had it always been there, waiting for the right moment to be noticed? Regalzo was alone on a night shift, working in a building that was supposed to be completely vacant. After hearing odd sounds carrying through the corridors, he decided to record, not to scare anyone, but to document what was happening in case something went wrong. The lights were off. The halls were silent. The only illumination came from his phone and a small flashlight, and in that darkness, every noise felt sharper, closer, and impossible to ignore.
Mira, ahí pasó. Díganme que lo vieron. Se lo vio clarito. Mira, ahí pasó. Mira. Se lo vio clarito. Y pasó por el medio del patio. ¿Qué les dije? Mira. Negrito para acá fue. Para ahí. ¿Ven? Pasó por ahí, agachadito, corriendo por aquí. Ah. Se desenfocó, ¿eh? Está al frente de ustedes, gente. Todas las cosas siempre más, digamos, turbias y fuertes. Me movieron un muñeco, movieron una silla, me golpeaban la campana, hacían un montón de quilombo y ahora cierran la puerta. Y, y bueno, pero yo dije que antes de irme voy a limpiar el lugar, que ninguna entidad tiene que permanecer aquí, ninguna entidad tiene que seguir en este lugar, porque van a venir niños. Van a venir niños, van a venir niños y no tienen que seguir aquí. Me atravesó otra vez. Ay, Dios mío, me dejó encerrado. Ahora sí me dejó encerrado. ¿Ahora lo hace con esta también? Es un colegio. Sí, mira, 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 mira. Mira, no. ¿Ves? Él la cerró. Es más, hace rato, pero sí estoy en Santiago, hace rato se vio literalmente un duende cruzar. O sea, la figura de un niño cruzando por detrás mío. Uy, escuchen, escuchen. Está golpeando. Ahí la abrió. Ok. Él viene para acá. Lo dejó de golpear. Linda la noche en la escuela, ¿eh? Ahí está golpeando la puerta. No tiene luz, pero bueno, tiene que pasar un proceso para poder trascender. Y con- ¿A dónde Mautrix, Gamin, dónde dice que se verían cosas locas? En el hospital me trabajo toda la noche. Estuve el sábado en un hospital abandonado. Y también logré captar una entidad bastante oscura. Yo esta puerta la voy a cerrar mejor.
As he walks forward, the camera catches something disturbing. Behind a closed door ahead, a dark, human-like shape moves past for a brief moment, like someone crossing the room on the other side. Ragalzu reacts instantly, rushing toward the door and shining his flashlight through it before pulling it open and checking outside. There's nothing. No footsteps, no shadows, no hiding place. Later, security confirms that no one else was inside the building at the time. Whatever passed behind that door showed itself for only a second and disappeared the moment it was challenged. A woman named Jennifer owns a historic house built in 1907, its rooms filled with antique furniture and keepsakes dating back more than 100 years. But shortly after she moved in, the house began to feel anything but peaceful. She started hearing light footsteps when no one else was home. Quiet whispering drifted from rooms she knew were empty. Objects seemed to shift ever so slightly when she wasn't looking. And then there were the shadows. Not quick flashes or tricks of the light, but shapes that lingered, as if they were meant to be seen. As the activity continued, Jennifer contacted several mediums, all of whom told her the same unsettling thing. They sensed children in the home. One night, when the sounds grew louder and harder to ignore, Jennifer pulled out her phone and began recording, hoping to finally understand what was happening. Watch closely.
Okay, I'm upstairs, and the cracking was just me standing here. However, did you hear the sound after that? Because I'm a little freaked out. Because of course I'm home alone. And I'm scared. I'm going to sit here and listen. See what I get. I just saw an orb. I saw an orb in the dining room across where the mediums have seen the children. And per usual, here's my sidekick making sure I'm okay. The innkeeper. Magnolia. I feel like I'm hearing like a faint music being played. And do you see that? Maybe it's just the shining from the lights. Just seems like something's in there right now. Walk down and see. Oh my God, what was that? Okay. I'm going over here. That was a big noise. That could not have been from the cat. She's still sitting there. Look at the mist around her right now, and she's looking. Oh boy.
What she learned afterward only made the situation more disturbing. After speaking with a local historian, Jennifer discovered that when the house was built, there were no hospitals nearby. It's believed that at least 4 people died inside the home. Deaths that likely happened under intense emotional stress, the kind of moments many believe can leave something behind. So whether what she captured was residual energy, restless spirits, or something far more aware, one thing is clear. Jennifer's house isn't just preserving objects from another time. It may still be holding on to the past itself. On December 26th, 2025, a family's home security system recorded something they still can't explain. Take a close look.
Voy a bajar, ¿sabes? Voy a bajar, a ver. Mira cómo se... Oye. Se escuchan como voces. Ya sé, tú, voy a bajar. Sí. Oigan, se escucha... Se está escuchando mucho ruido. Miren cómo se está moviendo el sillón. Todo eso en la cocina, se escucha ruido en la cocina. Uy. Se están accionando las cosas. Eh. Yo creo que ya las cosas hay que dejarlas así. Y es lo normal, amigos. Es lo normal, la verdad. Miren. Sí, qué raro. Es, los aparatos eléctricos, amigos, son los... Se vuelven locos.
Household items begin shifting on their own. Unfamiliar noises travel through the rooms with no clear source. Even the electronics start behaving erratically, turning on and off without warning. For many who study the paranormal, these details often appear together. When a man finally heads downstairs to investigate, the most disturbing moment comes into view. A rocking chair continues to sway back and forth, by itself. No one is near it. There's no draft. Nothing that should be causing it to move. And the fact that it keeps going suggests whatever started it wasn't trying to hide and wasn't concerned about being recorded. So what do you think this was? Something feeding on the home's energy? Or something far more unsettling? Growing up in a family of morticians, a woman named Jules says her career path almost chose her. Today, she works inside a funeral home where most days are quiet, routine, and predictable. But every so often, something happens that breaks that calm. Sounds that don't belong. Moments that leave you second-guessing what you just heard. One afternoon, Jules decided to film a short TikTok, casually talking about lesser-known parts of working in the funeral industry. And while the camera was rolling, something made its presence impossible to ignore.
Hey, you guys, we haven't made a video in a little while, so I just wanted to come on and kind of refresh everybody with just a little mortician tip here. I don't know if everybody's aware. Sometimes they're not aware that in order for the clothing to really fit properly, say it's too big, too small, we have to cut the back of the clothing in order to place it on your loved one. So sometimes if families request the favorite shirt back or, their favorite set of whatever they have on, it will be cut. It's very rare, unless the clothing is perfectly fitted to that person, that the director won't have to cut it. I've worked in several funeral homes where they don't cut it, and it... Is anybody here?
No.
You... Shh. Shh.
Time to go.
What?
Time to go.
We're the only ones here. I have to go look.
Otherwise, when you videotape.
Okay, let's go. We're going.
A strange, drawn-out moan echoes through the building, stopping her cold. Jules and her co-worker immediately turn to each other, both visibly shaken, quickly confirming that they are completely alone. There's no laughter, no confusion, just shock. Whatever made that sound wasn't expected, and it wasn't welcome. Jules starts to move, preparing to check where it came from, when a sudden loud bang crashes from somewhere deeper inside the building.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. We're going.
Jules later explained that experiences like this happen more often than most people would ever imagine. And when you consider where she works, surrounded by the dead, it somehow feels even more unsettling. She says you eventually learn to function around the unexplained noises and strange moments. But no matter how long you've been there, you never truly get used to them. A woman bought a Chevy truck. Her dog, Titus, absolutely refused to approach. At the time, most people laughed it off. Titus would pause, sniff the air, let out low, uneasy sounds, and refuse to step inside no matter what she tried. Now, that same behavior has returned. Only this time, it isn't the truck that's bothering him. It's something inside the house. Watch closely.
That is found. What? What's wrong? You think? Thomas, what is that?
Titus looks visibly unsettled in the living room, locked onto one specific spot, as if something unseen has captured his full attention. Some viewers suggested a carbon monoxide detector, wondering if the fireplace might be emitting something the dog could sense. Others blamed rodents. But according to the woman, whenever there's a mouse in the house, the cat reacts instantly, alert, hunting, focused. This time, the cat showed none of that behavior. Friends even suggested reaching out to a pet psychic, which she says she's considering. Until then, she continued filming Titus, trying to find a pattern. But things took a darker turn when the cat also began acting strangely. Watch this.
You want to hear? James. Why do you want in there? Ready? Hey. Jangles. Okay, here we go. Okay, go on. Hi.
What was that? What was that?
After repeatedly trying to enter the garage, the cat suddenly stops. She freezes in place, then slowly backs away, as if something invisible is blocking the doorway. When Titus joins her and begins reacting the same way, the woman becomes convinced that whatever is causing this is coming from the garage. Garages are often described as in-between spaces, not fully inside, not fully outside. In paranormal cases, they're frequently connected to unexplained sounds, shadow movement, and intense reactions from animals. Some believe they act as entry points, while others think lingering energy gathers there unnoticed. So what do you think is happening here? Is there really something in her garage that only her pets can sense? Or is there another explanation everyone's overlooking? A mother named Christy says something has been happening in her home that she can't rationalize anymore. Over several days, she began noticing a strange pattern during ordinary conversations with her young son. Without warning, he would stop speaking mid-thought, go completely still, and fix his gaze on the same exact spot in the house. He wouldn't blink. He wouldn't respond. It was as if his attention had been pulled towards something she couldn't see. At first, Christy dismissed it as a child's wandering focus. Kids space out all the time. But this kept repeating, and every single time, his eyes turned in the same direction. Then one evening, while she was making dinner, it happened again. Only this time, he calmly pointed toward the dining room and began repeating the same phrase over and over. His voice was steady, controlled, and the calmness of it made her uneasy. Watch this.
Where's the ghost?
Look at it.
What do you see?
I see something in the dining room.
What is
I
it?
see something in the dining room.
Where is it?
Perhaps, you're too.
I don't see it.
I'm opening it. It's the hat. See, look, I'm opening it. Volcano. I opening this one. You is one.
What?
You is one.
There's what?
You is.
What'd you see?
Next to my eye.
What?
Someone side on the hat. Someone side on the hat. Someone side on the hat.
It's okay.
I see a pectin pudding on a. I see a pectin pudding in a hat.
You see what?
A pectin pudding in a hat.
Hearing something like that from your own child, with that level of certainty, is deeply unsettling. Wanting clarity, Christy walked him into the dining room and asked him to show her exactly what he was pointing at. It was a picture hanging on the wall, and that's what confuses her the most. The photo had been there for months. He'd walked past it countless times, eaten meals beneath it, played nearby, and it had never bothered him before. So why now? Some believe children are naturally more perceptive, more sensitive to subtle changes adults ignore, that he may have noticed something attached to the image, an energy, a memory, or a presence that had only recently become active. Whatever the explanation, something about that picture has clearly changed. And until Christy gets answers, this disturbing moment remains unexplained.